Pardon me, seems unprepared. Hi, hello, and welcome to the weekly tarot buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Belosi. I'll be your oracle today. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Welcome all the returning subscribers, 10 toes down, A1 day one. Welcome all the new subscribers. You belong, welcome home. This is gonna be, I was sent to deliver the findings for the water rising signs, okay? And this is gonna be for the cycle, the period, the time between the 19th of June through the 3rd of July 2023. We'll be deliberating the findings from the Modern Witch Tarot, Lisa Sturl, okay? And for a water rising sign, I'm not accepting any cards that pop out. I won't start the divination. It'll just give us a little context. For a water rising sign, the sun will actually be moving through the water houses, but for a day or two, it'll be moving through the air houses. So that's the 12th house, first house, okay. So it's a little bit of liberation, moksha, chakon, which means breaking out, breaking free, normally through a little bit of pain and suffering. And then the first house, so those are the dharma, having to deal with karma. So basically, spirit, karma, life, path, destiny, drive, desires, passions, motivations, philosophy, vision, conditioning, programming. That's basically what it's going to be. But in terms of the moksha chakon, the liberation houses, yeah, spiritual healing. So maybe we are liberated. Yeah, we're finding our soul group, soul tribe, or maybe even the cacophony, the cadre of spiritual protection that we have. We're becoming aware of the God in our life, or the God energy. And I'm hearing that song by India Ari, I See the God in You. Yeah. So I'm just getting like the battleground makes sense now when things are popping off or falling apart, or when our heart's getting triggered and we got some nibble in our skittle and we're feeling some kind of way, and when things are beyond our control or hidden from us, and become aware, and it has this feeling stupid because we were on the outs and didn't know, or maybe ignorant and naive. That's all making sense. It has a purpose now, when before we felt at odds, at bay, maybe with the universe, maybe with others, energy, entity, ideology, whatever, what have you. Okay, so there's clarity coming through, pushing through. And clarity here is coming off to me as some kind of acceptance. We're no longer manifesting our worst fears. And yeah, I said what I said, meaning when something would frighten us, upset us, agitate us, aggravate us, we would call upon it, we would conjure it up, we would call it in. Now we're just aware of alerts to our solid ground. Now we know when something is triggering a defense within inside of us. And a defense doesn't always need to be, something aggro. It could just be standing in our own energy, standing in our own nature. Virtue is the word that I'm hearing. So that's holding boundaries, really. And ideology, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm picking up. And I said I wouldn't take this, so I'm just gonna have to push back to the universe. And yeah, so something's working through with these 2 threes here. A pair of threes means cheating, bickering, backstabbing. It could also mean the beginning of something, the start of something. It also means like, no, cheating, bickering, backstabbing. Look at that. So somebody is using malice, greed, attack. Basically, somebody's openly crossed the line. And we know how to encounter that, how to overcome that chariot card. Um, I'm just getting the energy that whatever comes up, it's not always going to be pleasant. It could be particularly unpleasant, you know. Um, Five of Swords is like a shocking awareness, like something startles us awake because there was some bit of naivete or ignorance on our end. Especially with the Three of Swords, it means separating or falling apart. We have to incorporate some kind of, we need to encounter difficult things, is what Three of Swords means. So the Three of Swords encountering difficult things, with the Five of Swords being shocked awake, shocked to maturity. It's given us this discernment, this steely nature to our insides. Doesn't matter how sweet, kind, genuine, sincere that we are, we're still going to have to have solid footing and be firm in our stance. Which means difficult things, unpleasant experiences, and I'm just getting the language I'm getting. Thank gosh, to summarize, we're gonna have to accept the fact that we're gonna be villains in some people's story, and you know what? It might not be anything that we did. It might be all up in their mind, whatever, what have you. We don't need to do the why of the why of the why and run around explaining or complaining or caring either. If we have a pure intention, if we did the best we could, if we're accountable for whatever we do, then the rest is out of our hands, is in God's hands. It's God's plan, essentially. So, you know, Nine of Swords is coming through a little bit. What that talks about on our end could be fear, haunting anguish, but on an external level, it's somebody got found guilty. Five of Pentacles, things destabilized, came down to the ground. The universe is making some forced changes. They might be untouchable, undesirable. King of Swords, they could be vengeful. I'm hearing the word bigoted. That usually goes with the King of Wands. The King of Swords is vengeful, overbearing. It's because we have, first of all, we have love, Queen of Cups. We have peace, Queen of Cups. We're pure-hearted, pure-souled, Queen of Cups. Somebody wants to make that something some kind of way, or la-di-da, yada, yada. They want to come after that. They're upset that they can't get to us. They can't affect our bliss. They can't affect our peace. They don't have access to us in some kind of way. And they're feeling some kind of way about it, which, again, I'm getting the King of Wands energy, but you know what that means? It's like they feel entitled to have access, approachability to us, and they're not coming correct. And I don't know where this is coming from. This is what I'm getting, what I'm picking up. So if we see the King of Wands, King of Swords, I'll talk more about that, but let's go on. So we have the Tower. It's going to be a lightning round, a little bit more negative connotations, okay? Remember, it's the first, fifth, ninth house, so ideology, conditioning, programming, vision, seeing into the future, drive, desires, passions, motivations, the love that we give ourselves and others, where we go to play, our generative and creative endeavors, energies, projects, spirit, karma, life, path, destiny, the path that we're on, the journey that we're taking, also a little bit about our physical appearance of what comes towards us. And then as doubly stated with the Knight of Wands, and literally that means your first, fifth, and ninth house. But this is the desire to defend something. We could be expanding something. We're using our spiritual power to expand or manifest in some kind of way, especially with the Magician here. The Magician is manifestation. Okay, so we also have the Five of Wands here. So somebody is desiring conflict. They could be contesting something, but it also could mean low down, dirty, basic, bunk, petty. It's all the little C words, you know, conflicts, conundrums, crossings, competition, karma, really. 201. So somebody here is desiring, okay, so actually they're not desiring, they desire something, manifestation, but they've already manifested because it's behind them. They've manifested some kind of contest in some kind of way. They're looking to open up. They're looking for a cracked window, an open door, unlocked door. They're looking to see where we're vulnerable in some kind of way because they're cleaving. Okay, so they're trying to hold on, maybe withhold. And with the Eight of Cups here, it means that we left something behind, okay, or we're starting to leave something behind because it's the swamp, okay. That's just what it is. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't working. And this other side, they're entangled, probably enmeshed in some kind of way they can't let go. And it's time. It's time for the shift to happen. The magician and the Wheel of Fortune means things are about to shift, things are about to change, and it's usually for us. And there's some kind of correlation, like this is going to lead to this, is going to lead to this. And the first thing it is we get tested a little bit before there's a shift in our life. But when we're about to come up, we get tested a little bit. Or if people start getting in our face, coming for us, coming at us, it means our circumstances a few weeks from now are going to be different, are going to be improved, or something of that nature. It means that there's a shift happening. The magician and the okay, I just had the magician and the tower. So the magician and the tower actually talks about a communication breakdown, and I'm getting that personal life and the practice and the readings, whatever, what have you. Um, there's a lot of conflict, and it's really just the universe letting us know who's supposed to stick around and who's not, who to let go and maybe who to hold on to. And this is a mess. Um, to me, if somebody's not able to whittle through a conversation, have accountability, responsibility, see themselves clearly, if you set a boundary standard and somebody spirals out of control in their neediness or whatever, it's okay. Um, if people are pulling from, a weak place, a low place, a hurt place, if they're using tactics, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, people pleasing or guilt shaming or covert narc things, whatever that looks like. It's not a judgment, a denigration. If somebody's fueled by their own brokenness, and that's how they show up, and that's how they seek attention, affirmation, affection, appreciation, whatever, what have you. Um, that's fine. It's not okay with us, and that it's okay that it's not okay with us, and that may work for them, and that's okay. It doesn't work with us, and that's okay. And so there's just this acceptance right now about people do what they do, hoes gonna hoe around, players gonna play, whatever, what have you. You want to be like that, great. You want to be better, great. We're at peace, and people that are in pieces are coming to us, wanting to engage with us in ways that are not healthy, not whole, not holy, and they're expecting us to get down with them. And that's just the thing. These are pinches that are can't reach us, so they're trying to pull us down. It's crab in a barrel. So transforming weakness. We've done that, or we're doing that, or we're coming up out of that, releasing guilt, humility. We've worked through a lot, and people want us to be who we used to be, do what we used to do. We can't. We can't. I'm sorry. Times are changing. We've changed. We've evolved. We've grown. We've moved on. We've accomplished. We've achieved. We can't, go back to that old person, that old place. It just doesn't work. That key doesn't fit in the door. The thoughts don't fit the man. They never can anymore. That's what it is. Okay, so let's move on, move forward here. Close this out, see what we do, see what we got. Okay, so somebody's little agenda didn't work. They had a little plan or a little tactic or whatever, what have you, and they got decimated. It was the final stroke. And this Five of Swords, I keep getting it's so these are malice. It's when I see it as often as I'm seeing it now, it's malice, especially when the Queen of Wands comes out close after. I mean, somebody feels possessive, entitled, and the way they see it is the way it is for them. See, the thing about the Queen of Wands is they're very short-sighted, and there's nothing wrong with that if it's some kind of public thing. If you're a performer, you know, if you're in the public eye, if you're on stage, if you're having some lustful, passionate exchange encounter, that's fine. But there's a lack of long-term substance unless there's a vision, like building a business. Okay. So they're often, let me read these, but it's coming with the Eight of Pentacles here. So higher fan, God sovereign and free here, God duties, obligations, policy, procedure, protocol. So we have the Queen of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles. So the thing about the Eight of Pentacles is you have to take ownership and you have to merge everything: spiritual, physical, law, ambition, you know, practical reality with dreams and visions. You have to reconcile everything. And that's not what the Queen of Wands is going to do. The Queen of Wands pushes your energy. It's the alpha female. They're going to take over, take charge. And I'm getting that somebody is in this possessive, entitled space, Two of Swords. They're of an opposing mind. And they have some kind of inside knowledge with the hermit. They might also have high level spiritual rank, high level spiritual gifts, but the thing about it is that it's corrupt. This is a corrupt elder, corrupt teacher. Unless you're teaching exculpatory, not the ones that get you out, or not ones that prove your innocence, but things that dig underground, exploratory, things that dig underground gyms. Unless you're teaching somebody about certain very specific trades, it's negative. This is a bad elder, a bad teacher, okay, or a bad teaching. So somebody's operating off of a program that doesn't serve them. They may have their sun in Virgo, okay. They may also be a Capricorn rising, okay. They're actually defacing, defiling themselves. They might have some type of greed, envy. Now, on our end, it's because they find us attractive or charismatic. On our end, it's because they see us doing our work, focusing on what we want. So they might want attention. They might want something from us. They want to get us to change our mind. You know, we might have with the Two of Swords tried to add their energy in some kind of way. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be energy, entity, ideology. Okay, it's not going to happen. With the Two of Swords and the devil, it's not going to work. You could balance two opposing things in the mind at the same time, but sometimes forces are destructive and you may try to mess with it and it's too wild, it's too rowdy, it's too whatever. Okay, so this is that case. That's, you know, you might give it a shot, give it a try, see for yourself kind of deal. There you go. If it's up, then it's stuck. Okay, when you F around and find out, that's what's up. So we now have this Page of Cups here. So somebody can definitely be your Capricorn rising. Okay, they could also have their Venus in Cancer. And now we have two pages here. So there's something to learn. There's something to grow from, mature from, but we're also being prepared. So whatever's happening, if there's isolation, or again, if we're feeling like we're fighting with multiple people, but really they're just leaving our life and the universe source is really just preparing us for something. You know, God isolates you when he's preparing you for something. So the spirit, God, is preparing us to receive material abundance. That's the goddess. So that's also the divine grace of the universe. So if we're feeling alone, isolated, if we're feeling attacked, because we're having a lot of people come at us, come for us, if we're feeling suddenly alone and unsupported, that's a sign that we're about to go glow up, boss up, blow up, some kind of thing, some kind of way. So with these two cards here, there is attack. People are desiring that we change our mind. They're of an opposing mind. They want us to see things from our side, and we actually just need to stand in our truth. We can have two opposing thoughts in the mind at the same time. I can love you and not at all like you. I can be so tired of you and still F with you. You know, you could be a drain and exhausting, and I cannot like you, but absolutely support you. You know, I can have your back and not support you. We can have opposing thoughts in the mind at the same time. something, some energy, entity, ideology outside of ourselves doesn't understand, that doesn't agree with it. They want us to be swayed. They want us to have feelings. They want us to be triggered. Cause that's how that's the way okay. And so we're going to be with these two cards. Like this talks about the timeline, whatever, what have you. We're going to see what's been going on for the last X amount of time. It could be 2 months, 2 years, whatever, what have you. It's 2 fortnights here in these cards, but we also have a pentacle card here. So we could finally understand why for the last 2 years we've been losing people. We could finally understand, like, what for the last 2 years we haven't been able to get something off the ground. We haven't been able to manifest. We haven't been able to come out of something. That's what it talks about, time magic, or the timeline, or whatever. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, okay. The detective card just came out. So again, we finally have the proper information, great powers of observation, intuition, desire to seek out the truth. We have the truth now. It's coming. Yeah, we know what to call things, how to label things, and we've been taught, educated in some kind of way. What we just came through as victims. So I'm again, people were coming at us in some kind of way. We were trying to hold on, or agree, or work things out. 8 of Cups, we couldn't. 2 of Swords, we wouldn't. It wasn't going to happen. For whatever reason, we needed to accept to let them go. And it took us a minute, it took us a while. Okay, but now we let people be what they are, who they are. We don't try to inform, educate, instruct. We just let them be what it is, how it is. And if they want to move away, move out of our life, or repel themselves out of our life because they're not honoring our standards and boundaries, that's what happens. Okay. So we never got. So if you lose somebody and you gain yourself, you won. And it's not comfortable to let people go. We want to explain the situation. We want to heal things, but energy speaks for itself. It's the biggest currency in the universe. You know, in the spiritual realm, we call it energy. On the streets, we call it vibes. Trust that. Okay. So if somebody's getting repelled from you for any reason, let them. It's not that you want it to happen. It's not that you can't work it out. But if you're explaining yourself to imbeciles, if you're arguing with fools, if you're entertaining idiots, it doesn't work. And this other person's on some aggro-ish. They don't have self-awareness. They're indifferent to their behavior, their impact. They're not willing or able to see themselves. And honestly, talking is not the thing to do. We were enslaved because we had this ideology, and we've had to break free this recently. So wanting to work things out with people that aren't trying to work things out as well, that's you're enslaving yourself. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Go ahead and smash that like button until we meet again. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.